Good morning, traders. This is Cynthia of Day Trade Forex bringing you a live trading video because I've been receiving so many emails asking about how I trade and wanting to see a live trade, so I'm going to attempt to do it. It's kind of hard to trade and make a video and talk all at the same time. There's so much going on, so it's kind of like the old expression, it's impossible to walk, talk, and chew gum at the same time, but so that's kind of how it's like. But I'm going to try it. And first of all, I'm showing you my Forex Factory setup, and this is something that I highly recommend everybody goes ahead and sets up for themselves, because I get emails from people saying that they're sitting in front of their PC for 12 hours a day trading and sweating and being bored to death and worried, and it's just not necessary to trade like that. So I'm going to show you how you can just spend a few minutes, or at the very most a few hours, sitting at your computer trading and just catch the best moves. And the way to do that is to trade out of the Forex Factory calendar and trade the major red economic news events. So I'm going to refresh this page because now it's 10 minutes later. We have a major news event coming at 7:30 a.m. my time zone, which is Central Standard. So here's how you set up the filters. I've set up the filters to only show the red news events for my time zone. So you just go there and click it. Click for the red, that's the most impacted. I don't bother with the orange or the yellow. You want all the types, choose all of your currencies, and then apply filter. So and then you have to go in here to time options and set this Forex Factory calendar for your time zone. And then this is set up just especially for you, and it's marking that the next news event is happening at 7:30 a.m. That's my time zone. Now it's the CAD and the US dollar. So those are that's the pair we're going to trade. We're going to trade the US CAD, okay? You have to always trade the pair that is going to have the most impact. For instance, here you would trade the euro pound, okay? And here you'd any cross with the US dollar would be okay on this, but on this one trade well, because it's in the evening, trade the New Zealand dollar against the yen, since it's in the Tokyo session. You can trade the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar if you want, but I really like the yen pairs for the evening news sessions. So that's how you determine which pairs to trade. So I'm just going to move this away now. You've seen that, and I highly recommend you go set that up, and don't be afraid of trading the news. I'm going to show you a way to trade it that's not that scary. Now I have to fix this. Okay, I'm in a new, well, it's an old little Telenex demo account. Telenex is nice. They accept US traders, and you can get an ECN account for $2,000, which is great. So I'm trying to set this up. We have a news event happening now in less than 10 minutes, so I'm going to try and go through this with you. My chart set up. So first of all, I've got oh, something changed here. I like my 4-hour. I don't know how this changed around. Oh, I must have used, okay, first of all, go to window, tile vertically, and then but I like the higher time frame on the left. You can arrange these any way you like, but I'm just showing you how I do it. Okay. And you can do this with just 2 charts. I do it with 3 in my Xtra advanced PDF. I teach you how to do it with 3, but if 3 is too confusing, just start with 2. And you're going to start with the higher time frame. Now first, I have the euro dollar up here, but we want to trade the USD CAD, so I'm going to show you a slick trick. If you put your cursor over here, first left mouse click in the chart, then put your cursor over here and drag the USD CAD over, and then it changes it. So, and put your cursor in this 5-minute chart and draw the USD CAD over. Okay, so now we have the USD CAD. Now we're going to get some pop-up alerts because we have in the advanced system, in the advanced breakout system, we have the triangle. So LTL is a breakout alert for the lower trend line on the USD CAD on the 5 minutes. So it's broken the lower trend line. Here's the trend line. You can see that this last candle just broke below it. So you do get a pop-up alert, and here would be your target down here. So in the 5-minute chart, not only do you get an alert, you get a target. Now look at the I trend. It's at 100%, so it's really in the 5-minute chart, it's really sold off quite a bit. The volatility is very strong to the downside. In the 15-minute chart, we're just having a cross of the I trend at this point, and it already crossed the lower trend line. So, but it's sitting on its target in the 15-minute chart. So let's look at the 4-hour time frame. In this case, in the 4-hour, it's in the blue zone. That's the blue oversold zone, and it's kind of near the top, but it's in between the triangle upper trend line resistance, and this is the triangle support. So the I trend volatility is very weak, but I would say that the USD CAD in the 4-hour chart is pretty oversold, but it still has room to the downside. You can see the 100%, the Fibonacci heat map not only draws your oversold and your overbought zones, but it gives you Fibonacci lines. So here's the 100%. If the USD CAD wants to continue going down this morning, this would be a semi-target. This is a Fibonacci target, but here's your triangle target even farther below. So I would say for the last 8 hours, the price has been going up a little bit. But in the 15-minute and 5-minute, it's still on the downtrend. But here we have the aqua I trend is on top, so that's bullish. Here they look like they maybe want to cross. Look at, we're having a small change of trend here in the 5-minute chart, and in the 4-hour chart it looks like the aqua, it's crossed, and if it approaches the 60%, then we'll have a long trade. But you have to first examine the higher time frames. I start with the 4-hour chart, and right now it's just very mixed in the 4-hour chart, and it's possible that this won't even be a strong news event, and we won't really have any trend reaction. So right now it's just all a little bit mixed. Hopefully this won't be a terrible example of how to trade the news, and hopefully this will be successful. But let's drop down to the 30-minute chart, because the 4-hour chart is so far away from what's actually happening right now. So you see I have a 5-minute, 15-minute, and 30-minute chart. That's a good ratio of time frames. This is what I prefer to use. And so in the 30-minute chart, you have the red dot, which shows it's reached the high, and that's approximately the 61.8% Fibonacci line. And now we're on a pink candle. So the I trend is strong at 69%, but that's not that strong, and you have a change coming because this pink one is creeping up, and should they cross and the pink go above, then that would be confirmation of a downtrend. And in the 15-minute chart, we have 3 down candles, and the I trend is kissing at 58%, so that's very mixed. definitely mixed, and in the 5-minute, definitely downtrend in color at a glance. Okay, now we just got a iTrend pop-up alert to sell in the 5-minute chart because the iTrend strengthened. It's getting stronger. There we go. Let's see, we're still 4 minutes before the news. Oh, I better get my easy order onto the chart. Let's put it on the 4-hour chart. And I have Cynthia's trailing EA set up, and you know that this is the partial close feature, and it'll close at 8 pips in profit. It'll book half the trade, and then the other half the trade will be, I use setting 5 e-trailing, so at 8 pips it's going to move the initial stop to break even and then follow by 5 pips. So that's great for a fast news event or a news event that you're not sure is going to be very strong. I don't know that the Canadian news events are all that strong. I could choose a 5-minute scalp setting where it breaks even at 15 pips, books half the profit, and then follows by 10 pips. So I could choose that one, but the US Canadian dollar is unpredictable. It doesn't have the wild moves like the euro. So I'm just going to use the most conservative 1-minute trailing stop preset. So that'll catch any quick move. So it looks like in the 30-minute chart, we don't really have a sell signal, and it's on the verge of having a sell signal here in the 15-minute chart. And of course, in the 5-minute chart, we do have a sell signal. But I'm really going to be watching the 15-minute chart because I want to see this iTrend. I want to see the pink on top and strengthen above 60%. And that'll be a nice entry for this sell trade here. So we already know in the 5-minute chart that we could have gone short way back here, really, in anticipation, because you can see in the 15-minute and the 30-minute chart we have pink candles. Okay, so now we're getting a strengthening of the down move in the 15-minute chart, and it's definitely moving down here in the 5-minute chart, and this is our target down here in the 5-minute chart. This is our initial target. Okay, and because in the 15 it's already sitting on the target. In the 30-minute our target is way down here, and the trailing EA, the trade manager settings, probably won't be able to follow a trade this far down because of the retracements. Will get stopped out because it's a very tight trailing stop. But in a 5 and 15-minute chart, we can most certainly reach our target down here, which is about 14 pips. That's not very much. So, but that's just the triangle breakout target here. The other target would be the 100% Fibonacci, which is at the bottom of the oversold zone. So that would be another target for us. So I'm going to get ready. It looks to me like we're probably going to be selling. And now I'm going to change this to 0.20, even in this small little account, because of the feature in the trailing EA that when this trade goes 8 pips into profit, it's going to book half of my lot size. Okay, upper trend line break on the CAD. Now the news event just happened, so everything's going in the opposite direction, but we're going to wait for the next candle because we're going to let the wild swings happen on this very first candle. And so it's done a major trend flip-flop, but we're going to wait for the next 5-minute candle. We're going to wait and see what happens. So let's open this up so we can see the price move just a little bit. There you can see the price moving right up here. There's the ask line. So it shot way up, it broke through the triangle, the upper trend line, and the triangle breakout drew a target which it hit up here. Now the price is, let's see, where's the ask line? Right here. So let's just wait for the next candle to decide what to do, because we may be going long and we may be going short. At this point we don't really know. And we've put the easy order on the 30-minute chart. That gives us the most recent. There's the easy order stop loss. That's where it put it. And this is where it put the take profit. So if we were to go short on the next candle, we could drag our target down here, for instance. Before you click submit is the best time for you to be dragging your stop loss and take profit lines directly on your chart to change them. After you place the order, the new MT4 one click is going to try to interfere when you try to drag the stop loss and take profit lines on your chart. So it's best to do it before you even submit your order. Okay, so now we're back to a magenta candle in the 30-minute, and in the 15-minute we still have the aqua candle, but the I trend is just right at 60. So it's just very weak, no strong trend here. And the USD CAD, I just don't think it has news events that are quite that strong. However, this is the news event happening this morning, so we're just going to try. So we have 2 minutes to go on this 5-minute candle before we make a decision if we're going to jump in long or jump in short. So you just have to have a little patience, and you don't want to jump in the wrong direction. Although look, in all the time frames, the I trend is on top and fairly strong, except for here. So what we're waiting for is a fine-tuning of our entry in the 5-minute chart. So let's see. We don't know yet if we're going to be going long or short. It's obvious in the 15 and 30-minute chart that we would be going long, but now we're fine-tuning our entry and just absolutely making sure that we really do want to go long. We have to wait for this 5-minute chart to tell us what to do. So we have 1 minute 40 seconds to go on this candle before we make a decision. And the price is just halfway in between this candle. So a lot of indecision, not a strong news event, but we can trade in the major direction anyway, because that's going to be what the trend is going to be, at least for the next hour. And we're going to try and get at least 15 pips out of this trade, maybe 20, and the trailing EA is going to manage the trade for us. So 1 minute 20 seconds to go. The price is falling, so we'll see what happens on this next candle. And I'm going to pause the video and come right back. Okay, we just got a pop-up alert telling us to buy in the 5-minute CAD, and you can see the I trend has gone above 60. Now this candle that's forming, where's the price? Hard to see on these little charts where the price is. But everything seems to be, oh, there's the ask line. Okay, so now the I trend has dropped down to 38%, but it's still strong in the 30-minute and 15-minute chart. So this is a really weak move, but we're going to buy just to show you. And let's see where this is our take profit. It's in between the triangle breakout target and the Fibonacci target, which is, both of those are strong targets. So when they're close together or the same, that's very strong. And here's our stop down here. That's our new stop loss. So I'm just going to leave everything the way it is. And I'm going to wait for the CAD 5-minute I trend to turn back up to 60%. So we know we're going to go long, but we just are waiting for the volatility to strengthen a little bit. We want that volatility on our side. So sorry we have to wait again, but in the middle window, let's look at what's happening here. The super trend shows you volatility and trend. It's like a MACD, and it's dropped down below these two lines, which shows really oversold. Okay, so, and then when you have the bar turn a different color and start to go up, that's a strengthening. Okay, now it's time to buy. So click submit. See why it's so hard to talk and do this at the same time. Okay, so the easy order placed our trade, and it also placed our stop loss and our take profit. And the take profit is not very far away, 0343. So right now we're at 03, let's see, 28. Okay, well I think that's a reasonable target for this week price action. And I was going to say here in this window the trend wave has crossed, the green is crossed above the red line, so that's a nice entry point. This bar turning aqua, and now you can see the volatility is picked up. It's moving up, the bars are moving up. So when the bars are down here, it's oversold. This is when you're going to see a trend change. Okay, and then if the bar gets up into here, that's the overbought area. It's like a stochastic. It's like a combination of a stochastic, RSI, and MACD. So the super trend's a great little indicator. So okay, well, we're in our trade, and we have trailing. Cynthia's trailing EA is managing the trade for us. So when we reach 8 pips in profit, it's going to close half of our trade, so it's going to book 0.10 in profit, and the trailing EA that I use for the remainder of the trade is step 5, number 5, and this is where I put the number 5. You do have 7 different trailing types, but the simplest to use and the one that I use all the time is number 5. And here's the settings for number 5. So at 8 pips, and remember this is an ECN account, so it has an extra 0 on the end. So at 8 pips, it's not only going to book half of our trade, it's going to move our stop loss to break even. And then it's going to trail, the step trail is 5 pips, so when it moves another 5 pips in profit, it's going to move the stop loss. So it's just going to keep trailing the stop or trailing the price for us. We don't have to worry about it. This is a great feature when you're trading a really nice, big, fast news event. This is not a really great news event, but if the price action was really fast, it would trail it and manage the trade for us, and we don't have to even worry about it. We just sit back and watch. And I do want to say though, that to do this you really do need to be in an ECN account. I highly recommend an ECN account, and the two that take US traders are Talonx and FinFX. And in FinFX you can get an ECN account for $1,000, and in Talonx you can get an ECN account for $2,000. And if you want to refine your trading and learn how to trade like this, and trade only the major economic news events so that you catch the best moves of the day or the night, and you don't have to sit in front of your PC for hours at a time. If you can just get 20 pips a day or 50 pips a day doing this, then you'll do very well. But you need an ECN account to do it, because sometimes the price is moving so fast that if you tried to do this in a dealing desk broker, you'd have slippage and requotes. You wouldn't even be able to get in. The trade execution is terrible with most dealing desks, but with the ECN accounts, you're not going to have the trade executions. You're going to be able to slip into your trade and slip out of it whenever you want without any requoting. So trade execution is, you want fast response and no requotes. It's absolutely important. So we can see down here the I trend is very high in the 30 minutes, very high in the 15 minute, and it's high in the 5 minute. And we've formed a little triangle here. So the price bars have formed a little triangle. And so that means that triangles always mean that there's the potential to break out to the upside or the downside. And everything here, oops, the I trend tells us to close the buy trade because the I trend came down below 70%. But now it wants us to buy again. So in the 5-minute chart, you just do, you can follow those, but see, I'm going to hang in here, and the reason is the 15-minute bar is still aqua. The I trend percent, the volatility is still strong in the 15-minute chart and the 30-minute chart. So I'm just going to hang into this trade. I'm going to think that our target is somewhere up here. Is that where our target is? I think this is this is a take profit from the easy order. So this is our target, and in the triangle breakout target is even above that. So we don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to hang into this trade, and then I'm going to pause the video and come back, and we'll watch it as it does something here, because it's just kind of waffling. So I don't want to take your time. I'm going to put you on pause. Okay, this is interesting. In the 5-minute chart, we formed a little doji here, and doji is always indecision. It means that the traders don't know if they're going to go long or go short. And the I trend percent is weakening. And even in the 15-minute chart, the I trend is weakening. However, in the 30-minute chart, the I trend is still fairly strong. So with the doji, it just means the trend bars have formed this little triangle. You can see it. And triangles always mean there's going to be a breakout to the upside or the downside. And you always need this little retracement bar here. The doji is very normal, and this is the perfect place for it to form. And then the traders are going to decide if they're going to keep buying or keep selling. So this is the point, this is the turning point right here. So you can see it, and I'm pretty sure they're going to keep buying. Everything says they're going to keep buying, so that keeps me in the trade. So I'm going to pause the video and come back again, and we'll just keep watching this little trade. Okay, it looks like they decided to keep buying. So let's see. We're in the overbought zone. The red zone is the Fibonacci heat map, which tells us that the price is overbought. But we know that it can definitely, oh, now we have a close by the volatility drop down to 70. And then it wants us to buy again. So the volatility is fluctuating, but anyway, I was going to say that we're in the red Fibonacci overbought zone here, but in the 15-minute chart, we're in between the oversold and overbought heat map zones. So, and we're sitting in the 15-minute chart. The price is right on the 50% Fibonacci line. So this still shows a strong uptrend. This still shows a strong uptrend. And so we're just going to hang in here and let the trailing EA manage the trade for us. We don't have to make any trading decisions. Now you've got the blue dot, which shows you a trend. This is a great entry point for a trade. Blue dots mean that's a confirmation for an uptrend. So we're on our way to hopefully reaching our target without taking too much time, but I'm going to pause the video and we're going to come back and see what happens. Okay, we can see the price is strengthening, and now we're 10 pips away from our take profit. So let's see what happens. I'll come back. Okay, we're having a little push to the upside here. So we haven't hit our 8 pips profit yet, because if that happened, we'd see our lot size cut in half here. It would be 0.10, and we would have booked 0.10 as profit. So Let's hope this just keeps strengthening. We don't have that far to go to reach our target, so I'll pause and come back again. Okay, we're very close to reaching our 8 pips that we need to close half of this trade lot size out and book us profit. So we're looking for 0337. So look at, we're very, very close to that. So hopefully we'll get to see this happen in real action. And keep your eye on this lot size here. Pretty soon you're going to see it be half of that. Okay. So what's happening here in the 5-minute chart is the candle is bounced up against the 100% Fibonacci line, which always kind of is the little ceiling. So if it pushes past that, our target's not that far away. So I guess I'll just have to pause the video and come back again. So we're still very, very close. Oh, there it did it. Okay. Now you can see it moved our stop to break even. The stop is the same as the price, and now we have 0.10. And check the history, and we just booked $7.64. So for a slow, dull little trade like this, now we've booked a little bit of profit, and now we have a totally risk-free trade. So I'm going to pause the video, and we're going to see if we can push up to our target, and then I'll close the video down. And that'll be our little demonstration for the day, how you analyze the 3 chart setup and the indicators and the Xtra volatility, and of course the triangle breakout and the Fibonacci heat map zones. Let's see, how far are we? We're getting very close to our target. So for a dull little trade, at least this turned into an okay demonstration. Oh, I guess I better let the video run, because here we are. Now notice I'm not moving my take profit anywhere. I'm letting it just go. We're 1 pip away from being, come on, we're 1 pip away from being closed out completely. 42, come on, 1 more pip, and then we've got our profit. Now, say at some point you decided you wanted to close the trade yourself, you would just click over here on the easy order, click close order, and you have a order number here which coincides with the order number down here. If you had more than 1 trade going on at the same time, you would have to check down here to see the order number and choose the correct order number. So that's how you, and if I were to click close, well, I'd have to click this in order to close it. So I think I'll do it just to show you how fast this works. Now this is really 1 click. Okay, so we really essentially hit our target, but I just wanted to show you how to use the easy order to close your order really, really quick. So you can see the easy order is definitely 1 click. It puts your stop loss and take profit lines on your chart, which you can double click and move up or down before you hit your submit order. And you can see how the trailing EA broke my trade in half and booked half the profit when it reached the designated take profit. And I'm happy that I chose the 1-minute scalp setting with only the 8 pips as my target to book half of my trade, because this was a very dull trade, very dull news event. The US CAD doesn't have the greatest movements on its news events. It's really when you trade the US dollar or the pound yen, those move a lot better. But for a demonstration, I hope that this shows you how to use everything and why news trading is really the best way to trade. Let's see what we got. We got a little over $20 on that trade, trading 0.20 mini lots. There's the broken up. So I hope that gives you an idea of how I trade, and all you need to do is have a bigger ECN account and trade bigger lot sizes, and you can easily make anywhere between $100 and $500 a day, $1,000 a day, $5,000 a day. It just depends on your lot size and your size account course, you do have to know good money management rules and never trade more than 1% of your account. I did want to show you that with the easy order, if you right mouse click here, you could choose risk based. Now that changes your trade type to 1% of your account. You can change it to 2% if you get really, really good at this. But in the beginning, just stick to 1%, or if you have a smaller account, just choose your lot size and make sure that you're not using too much money, too much leverage for your account size. You can refresh the lines. That gets rid of, you could see here, the old lines disappeared from our last trade order. If you want to remove it, just remove it. And you can change, say we want to change back to the euro US dollar. Just select the chart. There we go. Oh, now see, the US dollar really moved this morning when the US CAD did not. So we could have played the US dollar. Well, because if you remember the news, at 7:30 we not only had a CAD news event, we also had a US dollar news event. So we chose to play the USD CAD, but it looks like the USD or the Euro USD moved a lot more. Let's see, in the 5-minute chart, say we'd gotten in somewhere around here, and that was our ceiling. That's 19 pips. So it just moved a little bit more than the CAD, so we did okay. And then at 9 a.m., 8:55, so in another 50 minutes, we have another USD news report coming out. So I'm looking at the Forex Factory calendar, and I know I'm going to play the Euro USD at that point, but let's analyze what's happening ahead of time in the Euro US dollar. In the 30-minute chart, we're in the overbought zone. In the 15-minute chart, we're in the overbought zone. And in the 5-minute chart, we're in the overbought zone. And the trade each time is bounced up to the 100% level of the Fibonacci heat map. So the euro is definitely overbought. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. And even in the 4-hour chart, it's overbought. But we have, look at our target, 1.3400. That's the 100% Fibonacci line, and we're at 6.4. So we have another 40 pips that this could move to the upside this morning. So that's how I'll be playing the next news event. I'll be watching first for the pullback in the 5-minute and 15-minute chart. I want it to pull back somewhere down to here if possible, so I can get a little bit better entry. I'm not even going to wait for the second candle, because everything is so bullish, and we can see right here that the 3400 Fibonacci percent line would be our first target. So I would draw the easy order on to here, and 40 pips away for a target. I think, whoops, uh-oh, I clicked the wrong thing. I'm gonna have to get it back. I'm gonna pause the video while I do this, sorry. Okay, I got my chart back. So what I was trying to do was click on the little smiley face for the trailing EA. There we go. And it loaded it with a different preset, but I'm going to choose the 5-minute preset this time, which means that at 15 pips, it'll the partial close will kick in and close half of my lot size at 15 pips, because I think this has a little more room to the upside and it moves better than the USD CAD. And here's my settings for the it's 15 pips. The stop will be moved to break even. Then I have a risk-free trade, and I've booked half my lots, and it'll be following by 10 pips. So we need to get a 25 pip move out of this to the upside in order for this setting to work. Otherwise, if we don't think that we have that much room to the upside, it's better to choose the scalping setting, where it'll trail just a little bit tighter. And well, maybe since we're in the overbought zone so badly and we're so close to the 34, I think I'm going to leave it at the tighter trailing stop setting, because this could just not move so much to the upside. We do have 40 pips to the upside, but we're at the top of the overbought zone. We're just looking at the 4 hour, seeing that between here where we are, I'm going to look at my crosshair. This is how you have to analyze ahead of time what your profit potential can be. That's 46 pips, and if I have a 1-to-1 ratio, my stop would be right here at 33.07. So that's almost 100 pip stop ratio. But I'm not going to be trading this in a 4 hour chart. I'm going to be trading it in a 30-minute chart. So drop back to the 30-minute chart. Let's see. 3400 is right about here. And so now, say we got in at the top of the heat zone and this is our target. Well, right now, there's only 34 pips to the upside. And if our stop loss is at the bottom of the heat zone, that's 40 pips. So roughly we would have a 1-to-1 trade ratio, which is really the least that I like to trade with. So I'm not going to have my setting, whoops, get rid of the crosshair. I'm not going to use the 15 pip partial close or trail. I'm going to use the 8 pip partial close or trail, because we're so close to the top of this Fibonacci heat map in every time frame that I know that the ceiling, the resistance, is going to be 3400, and it's just not that far away. And look at the I trend is very strong, 100%, very, very strong in all charts. So we know that this trade is going to go to the upside, but it doesn't really have that much to move before it bangs into that major resistance of 3400. So I'm going to play it conservative, and I'm going to pause this video and come back like in 30 minutes just to show you how to play the second news event. And of course, I hope this analysis helps you learn how to do this. Thanks, and I'll be back. Hi, I'm back. I just want to show you what's happening right now in the 5-minute chart. It looks like a lot of traders are closing some buy positions, and I think that's smart on their part. We're 15 minutes away from the U.S. economic news release, and if I were in a long trade, well, I don't think I'd close my position because the trend is so strong to the upside. I would just make sure that I've moved my stop loss and make sure that I've locked in some pips and that I'm at a better than break-even position. But they're being cautious, and 15 minutes away from a news event, this is what you're going to see. But it's what I like to see, because if I'm going to go long, I want to see a pullback in the 5-minute chart, because that means if they pull back the price, say down to the 61.8% Fibonacci line, and then the news event is released and the price starts going back up, I'm going to have a much better trade entry. And I already know that my target's going to be the 3400 because that is a major resistance, psychological resistance and price resistance. And it probably will bounce off the 3400, so that would be my target. It could push back up, but if I see that happening, I can always jump back into the trade. But anytime you have a round number like 3400, 3300, that is a target for the price. It's like a magnet for the price, but it also at the same time, there's a lot of stops around the major round numbers, so you're going to run into the stops being triggered, and that'll make the price bounce away from that price line. So I'm going to pause the video and come back. We're going to see how much this this is one way to use the Fibonacci heat map, because it does give you your Fibonacci levels here, and these can be used as targets and retracement targets. So we're seeing it's already pulled back below the 76.4%. I'd like to see it pull back to the 61.8%. It may or may not pull back that much before the news release, but it just means that we're going to have a better entry if we decide to go long. So I'm going to pause the video and come back in like another 10 minutes. Okay, we're back. It's 5 minutes before the news release, and you can see in the 5-minute chart we formed a little doji, and here's our triangle. So we'll have to see what the doji does. Either it's going to break down below this triangle support. In that case, we're going to have a trend reversal probably, or we'll see this little, well, the doji's actually forming a little bit to the upside here. Anyway, it's too soon to tell. We're still 5 minutes away, so I'm going to pause and come back closer to the news event. Well, we're still 4 minutes away, but I'm looking at the chart sitting here, and I just want to explain just two more things to you. First of all, in the main chart, you see that up here you had a red dot appear, and this trend slope turned from aqua to pink, and the red dot appeared. And that means that in this time frame it's reached the top. And you can see up here the two candles before, even this one, it couldn't push any further higher than this candle here. This candle was a little bit lower, and then this candle was a little bit lower, and that causes the red dot to appear. And at the same time in this window, the trend wave is the yellow dot. You can see the trend wave, the red and green line have flattened, and they're totally flat together, and the super trend turned from aqua to pink. So right around here, even in this window, you have confirmation, and the yellow dot, when it appears, that means it's an overbought condition. You can see the super trend bars are in the overbought, so it's only normal for the price to fall, the volatility to fall, the trend bars to fall, and have a little bit of a retracement. And it's just a pause, a breathing pause. It's very normal for the price to do that. So you have to learn to expect that. Read the signals. You can see the volatility has fallen off. And right now in this window, the I trend, they're trying to kiss, and we could see a resumption to the downside if it depends on the economic news release, if it's better than forecast or worse than forecast. And really, we don't know. There's no way to know ahead of time. All we can do is follow the price, up or down. So we're 2 minutes away. I'm just going to pause the video and come back. Okay, it's 8:55 CST, and you can see the price did bounce back up. Look at the I trend getting strong. The candle is turned aqua. We need to break through this signal entry stop here. Now we have a blue dot. So I think the price is probably going to continue to the upside. And I just noticed in the 15-minute chart we never did get the red dot. So that tells you that in the 15-minute chart it had not found the top. And so it's pushing to the upside, which is what I expected. Look at the I trend is very strong, but we're going to wait for the second candle because we want to make sure. And we have 4 minutes to go for the next candle. And it always spikes up on the first candle, so you never want to chase the price, and you end up getting in at the top of the spike. Then you have to suffer through the retracement on the same candle or the next candle. So that's why we wait for the second candle. So we don't chase the price. We wait for it to fall back again, and then we get in at the next candle, still in the trend direction usually, but at a better price. So I'm just going to pause the video for the next 3 minutes, and we're going to wait for the next candle candle to form, and then if everything still says we're in an uptrend, and at this point it's really obvious in the 30-minute and 15-minute, look at how strong the volatility is. So we're just watching the 5-minute chart now to get the perfect entry. So I'll be right back. Okay, now in the 15-minute chart, it says we have a lower trend line break. That's for the triangle breakout on the 15-minute chart. So it broke through the bottom of the triangle breakout on the 15-minute chart. So let's go look and see what's happened. We're on the second candle and we've got a doji. So that tells me that after this little spike on the news, now nobody knows what to do. We're so close to the 3,400 major psychological price key level. I mean, it's very possible that we'll push up to it because we're already headed that way, and the bankers and brokers are pushing the price up there for their reasons. So, but this has not been a strong news event. That was not a very big, even if we had gotten in here at 33.66 or 60, and we went, that was a 15 pip move just on that candle if we had gotten in. Which, you know, if you want to trade against some of these things, you can, and if you didn't expect too much. I mean, you can't, sometimes you just can't expect too much. But yesterday, for instance, I wish I could show you. Maybe I'll try to show you. Let's see, in a 4-hour chart, and let's make this big. Can we go back that far? We had I remember I played that news event. I made a screenshot of it. I can't see where it is on here without taking some time. Here we are, the 15th. That was yesterday. Okay. This was the news event yesterday. It was actually a 100 pip move. All the way down to the 30, from the 3,300 to the 3,200. Well, that was about 90 pips. And then the price just shot right back up, and we're headed towards the 3,400. And so it was almost a 100 pip down move, and then say from the bottom of this, let's see, it was 2 candles in a 4-hour chart. That was a 100 pip move up. But if you had started from down here, look at from the bottom of this candle to the top of this next 4-hour candle. So in 8 hours it swung down almost 100 pips and up almost 150 pips. That was a wild trading day, and we're in the overbought red zone, but the target is always the 100% Fibonacci, which is in this case about 3,400. So that's why I think that if you look at a 1-hour chart now, so we're still, the I trend is still pretty strong. I don't know, it's Friday, now it's 9 a.m., it's after 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Only 1 more hour of trading for the London traders. They could push this up to the 3,400 before the end of the day, or we could see some sell-off. Since it's a Friday, we could see some sell-off, and then the trend resume maybe Sunday night or Monday morning. It doesn't have that far to go. It's only like 30 to 40 pips up. And so at this point, let's see, back to the 30-minute chart, and we've got a doji in the 30-minute chart. So basically at this point, I don't know how to take a trade. Well, you've got, here's pink candle, pink candle, pink candle, and your I trend is creeping up. Everything's weakening. So it's Friday, possibly. Okay, we'll just go ahead and sell if this I trend gets to 60, and then this will be our target. You can see it's right around a Fibonacci key level of 38.2%. This is our target, but it's not that far away. That's only like 14 pips away, so it's really hard for me to say at this point. There's just no real excitement. we're so, let's see, in the 5 minute we got to sell. The I trend, oh, went way past 60. Okay, so let's sell. Let's see what happens. Okay, we sold. So now we're a tiny bit in profit, and thank God that we're using the trailing EA with the most conservative settings. So that means very tight. And let's see if it reaches 8 pips. So that would be, let's see, 53. We have not very far to go. We're only looking for 8 pips, and then it'll close this trade, half of the trade rather, book that as profit, and move our stop to break even. So our target's down here. Also, I wanted to say, I forgot to tell you that it's a good idea to get in the habit of dropping your vertical line into where you've placed your trades so you can go back and analyze your entry. This is how I do it. I just drop the vertical line, change it to red if it's a sell, and of course I'm trading now with the candle being pink and the candle being pink. Even though the I trend is still on the upside in these charts, I'm trading according to the 5 minute chart because we're just really trying to get 8 pips out of this, which is not very much, but we're going to hope for a little bit more and close the trade out completely at this target down here. So I'm going to pause the video and come back and see what happens. Okay, we're back. We're bouncing around on this major key level of 33.50. If we can push down below it, we're going to have a risk-free trade at 33.49.5. 33.49.5 is our 8 pips that we need to book half of this lot size and move our stop to break even. But I just want to point out what we're really doing here, which I probably shouldn't be showing you in this video, but we're actually doing a counter trend trade. We're doing a very short term counter trend trade in the 5 minute chart. We basically did go against the trend in the 15 and 30 minute chart, which really is up, even though we jumped in on pink candles. But all of the indicators and the I trend, it's all bullish. So we're just having a temporary pullback, and we're just taking advantage of that. So what we want to see now in this counter trend trade is for it to break below and hold below the 33.50 major support, major key level, which is a psychological and price key level. If it bounces up and cannot break down below, I'm just going to close this trade. Hopefully book just a tiny bit for my trouble in time. But if it can, it's tried twice now to push through the major key level right here. If it goes down to 49, then we're going to have a risk-free trade. So we just needed to go down one more pip. There we go. 49.6. We need it to go to 49.5 for it to close half this lot size. So, and then we have a risk-free trade for the rest of it, and we've booked some profit. So we just need a little bit more of a push down. I'm going to pause the video. Hopefully it'll happen really soon so I can go eat breakfast. And this video is an hour long. That's way too long. So I'm going to pause it, and hopefully by the time I get back we've closed half our lot size, booked that profit, and moved our stop to break even. Well, we were like, God, because of the spread. The spread's very tight. 49.4. There we go. Okay, we finally did it. Now it's on its way down. It closed half of our trade, so that was $9.30, and now we're $12 in profit, so it's really dropping. It's trailing. We're 10 pips away from our target, and we're actually we've booked quite a bit of profit, and it's moved the stop down, so this trailing stop is now at 33.45, and our price, it's a very tight trailing stop, so we could get stopped out on this, but we would have had probably another $12 booked. So because this is Friday and we're doing a counter trend trade, I like the tight trailing stop. So we're not far away from getting stopped out on this, but if it keeps going down, it's going to trail it very, very tightly. So I'm just going to pause the video and come back, and we'll see what's happened as an end result. Then I can stop the video. Okay, we're very close to being stopped out, like just 2-3 pips away, which is okay because we've already locked in 12 pips profit on this fast little move down. And you can see in the 15-minute bar now, 15-minute chart, we now have the red dot, which shows the top in the 15-minute, and we have the red dot appearing now in the 30-minute. So okay, we just got stopped out on a little tiny pullback. That's fine. We made $12 and $9. So $39 trading this morning just in this tiny little account. Pretty risk-free. That last trade was a counter trend scalp trade, which does require you to have some trading experience to do that, but I'm glad I had the opportunity to show you. And this is how I trade with just the major news events, and if you do that, you don't have to sit at your computer for that many hours. If you have a really good strong news event, you can be in and out in 5 minutes. But this morning the news events were very weak. You can see there's a lot of profit taking in the euro going into the weekend, and that's to be expected sometimes. So that's what we're witnessing here. And aside from that, this is a 1-hour video, and I think I'm going to sign off and go have breakfast. And thank you so much for watching and taking the time and being patient with this. And you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll make some more training videos for you in the future. And thank you so much again for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye.